You're watching Fugitive Red-Eye, and welcome to another episode of Tales from the Drive Thru, the series where I talk about my many experiences in the workplace. Today I'm going to be talking about my first job, working in a greenhouse. This was back when I was around 14 years old and couldn't really technically have a real job in this state, but this was actually a school job that also gave me science credit, so I think since it technically counted as a class too, there was some sort of loophole there. This counted as 2 separate class periods in middle school, so I actually got to miss first and second period to go to work. As I said, I did get science credit for this as well. The pay sucked. They said they paid you based on how much work you actually did, but the most I ever got there was $45 for a month, which to me was a lot at the time, but I realize how terrible that is now. They also gave us $1 every Friday to either use on the vending machines or keep for ourselves. My duties there consisted of mixing soil, potting plants, transplanting plants, fertilizing plants, cleaning up the greenhouse, things like that. But a lot of the times when it was too cold to go out to the greenhouse, we'd watch movies. Earlier in the year, we started with watching plant-related movies that were educational, but the more and more the year went on, the lazier they got with that, and we almost never went out in the greenhouse after it got to a certain point in the year. And we just started watching whatever the hell they felt like. We watched the movie Honey with Jessica Alba, which fucking sucked. We watched White Fang, which I actually really liked. And we watched a few Disney movies, I can't remember which ones. But it was a really easy job, to be fair, and what I would do when I got paid is I'd take the money I got, I'd go down to the gas station that I'd walk down to, because I couldn't drive yet, and I'd just buy Slurpees and stuff. It was fun. It was a fun first job. It was a lot of fun. Like I said, it was really more of a science class than a job itself, but I got paid for it even though it was very minuscule pay. And since it was a school job, once the school year ended, my work ended as well. But working in the greenhouse, we also did do a few projects where we'd take stuff home to our families, like we grew some poinsettias that we got to take home, and we grew some aloe vera that we got to take home, things like that. Obviously the greenhouse sold the plants that we would work on, but like I said, the pay was very minuscule, but it wasn't bad. I had a lot of fun doing it, and it counted for science credit, and it got me out of 2 classes at school. There were brief days where they would teach us stuff about plants and stuff, especially towards the beginning of the year where they'd come in, we'd take some tests on the whiteboard and stuff. I remember one of my coworkers tried to cheat off my paper, so I wrote down a bunch of wrong answers, and he wrote them down too, so it was kind of funny. And then I changed all mine to the correct answers. I was kind of a dick. There was also a coworker I had there, and classmate, because like I said, it functioned as both a class and a job, that was obsessed with Talladega Nights because it had just come out, and so every time I'd come in, he'd hold his fist up and go, "Shake and bake!" And I didn't get the reference because I hadn't seen the movie, and I didn't see it until years later, so it was a fun first job. Not a lot of funny things happened like did with the other ones, because this lasted 1 school year, and we really didn't do a whole lot of crazy stuff, but it was alright, and I think that about does it. Sorry for this shorter episode, but that's really all I have to say about the greenhouse. On a side note, though, I am planning to do a viewer stories episode, so you want to submit them in the comments, this would be the place to do it, or on my Facebook, Twitter, Minds, or email. Let me know your experiences, whether it be as a customer, as an employee, in fast food, or any other workplace experience that you think would be entertaining to tell. And if I like it, I will, of course, be having it in a future episode. Viewer tales. I already have one submitted from Rabid Waffles that I'm going to be using. When you do post your viewer tales, let me know how you want me to credit you. Do you want me to use your username? If your username is your first and last name, let me know if you want me to use your full name, or just use your first name, or just use your last name, or if you want me to call you something completely different. Anyway, this has been Fugitive Red-Eye, and I'll see you next time.
Subscribe to Fugitive Red-Eye.